Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Brian Miller, and this is just a quick, maybe not so quick, race video from the second year club Wildhorse hare scramble. Took place a couple weeks ago, and I've raced. They put on a winter race and then a couple other summer races. So this is sort of the fourth race of the year and the last race of their little mini series, if you will. And yeah, it was postponed due to rain, and then it was put back on, and the weather was still crummy, but we went out and tried our best to get around here. So enjoy. Crummy start turned into not so bad of a start. I think I'm in fourth place at this point, which is pretty awesome. Although there's a few sneaky lines, and I got my doors blown off by a few guys fairly early on here. So that was Arian. He crashed right on the second log there, but got back up. He had the whole shot, and then found that line. And Pete took another chance through the off the trail and got past me here. So these guys are going for broke off the start, and I've broken enough bones that I am typically fairly conservative, especially in the rain. This was so slippery out, as you'll see later on when we get to some of the hills. There was an expert pro split, and that proved to be very challenging. But at any rate, everybody's racing the same conditions. I just wanted to make sure that I kept it upright. So yeah, a good start that kind of got squandered by me just taking it easy and not pushing very hard off the get-go. This was Carl's Hill, and normally you can just rip right up it. I usually go up the right line, but I decided to go up the left line and got passed by a few people. So yeah, this race was interesting, just so slippery. Yeah, enjoy my struggles. As we all, I'm sure anybody that raced it would have had the same struggles, and yeah, just try to survive. That was the name of the game. go right or left, and I kept taking the left line, and it proved to be longer and worse. Kind of pop out of these trees and have to hang a left, and the guy that I was chasing is now gone, so it was definitely the slower line of the two. And yeah, I kept repeating myself, not taking that good line.
Never.
Historically, this race is generally very fast when it's dry out. You can just fly on this track, but in the wet, maybe not so much, I guess. At least not for me. I had crap all over my goggles and was fogging up and everything else, so I pulled over here to pull them off, and got passed by a vet master, Chris Chambers. I don't really know the guy, but I know that he at one point in time was a pretty serious rider and is kind of getting back into it by the sounds of things. But he got past me, and I've was passed by a few other people, but I really wasn't in much of a panic. I knew there was going to be some hard stuff coming up, and I wasn't racing in his class, so they were only putting experts and pros through the gnarly stuff. So it was no skin off my back to let some of these people go by me if when I was pulling over to take care of things. just coming back to the start finish here. A couple of my buddies, Pete and Luke, laid out this course and put in a lot of work to give us something that was, you know, as different as it can be out here. There's only so many trails, but yeah, put in a bunch of work, had it postponed. We put it back on, but there was a lot of lines they just couldn't really use because of the weather. So yeah, they gave it their darndest here. This was all excavated out last year, but it's back in rideable shape there. But back through the start finish area and then off on the west side of these trails. But yeah, kudos to those guys for stepping up and helping out to put on the race. There's a lot of more people involved, but they were sort of the ones that laid out the course. just making my way up to the AB split on the course here. Just a couple more logs to try to get over and not spin out. And they've got all this caution tape, and then, yeah, A's go right, B's go left. So this is a ridge now that we're gonna climb up, and then there's another split at the top for the A Pro Expert split. A's kind of continued on forward, up the ridge, and then Pro Expert line was off to the right, down, and then through a whole new zone that we've never rode before. It was named Pete's Highway, and it might have been a highway at one point in time, but it was more like a I don't even know what, just a really greasy, slippery section, and a lot of people struggled on it, so the highway was a bit of a misnomer. But had the conditions been dry, it would have been, you could have ripped it pretty good. I still don't think it was really a highway, but it wouldn't have been near as bad. At any rate, yeah, there's some nice mountains in the background here. This is sort of on the edge, I think, of where you can and can't ride. So the Yahakinde area, there's horse ranches and some other stuff that are nearby here. Is a little struggling up this thing. It's greasy as all hell. But yeah, we're kind of on the edge of it. Maze Runner's another race that's put on around these parts. It kind of utilizes more of the technical, difficult terrain up in the mountain there, and then further to the north. But the Second Gear Club's races are generally a little bit more mellow. That was Melissa Harton getting past me. I'm not sure who was behind her, but she's a ladies pro, and normally I'm catching her because I was at 40A before and I'd start behind her, but here she is getting past me. So they didn't run them through the this hard section coming up. But at any rate, goggles are switched over so I can now see again, and I'm gonna make my way up this hill and then cross over into the spice. This is where the real fun starts. Up until this point, it wasn't too bad, but things get a little bit more gnarly as this progresses. This was, I don't think they had utilized this section in quite a few years. I haven't raced here a ton, but I believe the first time I was here, we came up this. But there's been a bunch of deadfall, and it just sort of been peeled out of the course. So they cut out some trees and had us go down this, but in the wet, this is like clay, I guess, and it's very slippery. So what looks like something pretty minor, you can crash on very easily. But this is just the beginning and kind of the easy part. You could probably run quite a few people down this section and it wouldn't be so bad. It's the next sort of part where we turn off the trail and hit the new stuff that it starts to get a little more challenging. right, so here we're gonna get off the main trail and take a left onto Pete's Highway. And this is all very virgin territory, I guess you could say. I can hear and see bikes up ahead and know that there's a bit of a shit show taking place here. So this is actually a pretty slow part of the video. I don't know how many people are here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, and I'm not sure who else is on the hill, but I wasn't it's hard to pass people here because it's just so slippery. There's zero traction. So and what's out of the shot is the people that are on the hill on the good line. So in my mind, it was better to just wait for this to clear and shoot my shot at it than try to force the issue. But I sit here for several minutes just watching these guys. Jacob's bike's boiling over. It sounded like he was here for actually quite some time. And Will Melnick is there. Tyler. Yeah, there's a few people that are just kicking around at this hill. So it's just time to rest and wait because yeah, they were here before me, and I'm not in a big panic to try to get through here. I know it's going to be difficult, so just watching and learning see what they're doing and where they're going wrong.
There is a line. Right side. Or I guess left.
This last guy here,
right?
Keelan and Key. It's funny, I bought some tires from him. I didn't actually meet him, I just had somebody pick them up for me, but he took some tires off a new bike and I bought them from him, and then I ran into him the night before.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be
kind of chit-chatting, and turned out, yeah, I bought some tires from him. So
there's some other hard spots too, but this
we had sort of formally met the night before, and then here we are, both at the same hill, just hanging out.
He had good momentum though. He was
Good start.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of obstacles. Yeah, 40-some minutes.
36
I
since the pro starts. Yeah.
Roger.
Don't think I'll need my gas.
Sorry?
Don't think I'll need my gas.
I was worried at first, and then I started riding. I'm like, I'm not burning shit today. Yeah. Oh yeah, more boilovers up there, I think. We'll see.
Like how much feet can you carry to that point, right?
A bit of a dagger.
Are those cone valves or just inserts?
Just inserts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually found the air forks are pretty good, but I don't know. Seem to be more comfortable on these guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit it, but I'll probably drop back down and hit it again.
You know, I got an extra back tire. Finally got one. It's pretty nice. You're like, yeah, I got extra 2 bikes, bro.
All right, we're almost ready to give it a shot. Trying to actually get my bike to move, and that's not happening. It's so slippery. You just have to laugh. It's like, it's just ridiculous. He's off to the right there. It seemed like he had a decent traction to get going, but didn't get high enough. So he ends up dropping back down. But yeah, you just couldn't, there was just no traction here. This was honestly just ridiculous. So these hills, the video, as per usual, doesn't really do them justice. Not that this is some crazy big hill, but in these conditions, like, you wouldn't be able to walk up it, and to ride up is pretty tough. So yeah, it's just, I was waiting for people to clear out so I could actually make a go of it. There we go. That was a quick 4 passes that I made. Thank the Lord. Would have sucked to not make it up. I felt for those guys pushing your bike in those conditions. They had 2-3 guys on a bike, and it was everything you could do just to keep the bike from going backwards, sliding down the hills. So I was very happy that I could avoid all that. Sometimes you don't need to be in a real panic to get up some of this stuff. I don't know. Maybe a part of it's luck too, I guess, but I was just biding my time, wait for the right moment, and then go. This is another tough one. This hill, on lap 2, I had to hit it twice because it was so slippery. And that other one had such a big trench on it. I came back out here the next day, and the trench was over 1 foot deep, just trying to get up to the hill. It was crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It's everybody struggles out here. It's not just the B's and the C's and the D's, the A's and everybody else. You know, when the conditions are hard, it's a tough go for everybody. So just know that yeah, we're all suffering. I think that's when Luke was doing a little preamble to the race, that is basically what he was alluding to, was the fact that it was going to be difficult, and it doesn't matter what class you're in, we're all going to have our own challenges. It's just the better riders see harder terrain, but they still struggle just as much as some of the other riders in their own right. This is another really greasy spot here that you'll see I kind of mess up on. Didn't get around the corner. There's really nothing to put your weight into and find traction, so I ended up turning around and having to hit it again. Super slippery.
Nope.
Think, well, I'll just back up and hit it, but that's not going to happen. You can see my breath here too. It was pretty cold out, but yeah, just figure it out. There we go, we clawed our way up. I'm running these Shinko cheater tires, which, they're not the best tire, but that's really no excuse. I can put on whatever the hell tire I want, and I just choose to put on a really cheap tire all the time. So these are the consequences of it. Sometimes the tire will make or break your day, but other times it comes down to your skill. So here we are at the merge.
Right.
This is the merge with the A's, and we've got some people that are just sort of buggered up on the hill. There's Bryce, a guy I know, he was racing 38. Those people are just trying to get up, trying to gain another foot over there and working together. But this was slow going. You can see, like front tire washes out. There's just no traction. It was honestly pretty stupid. Wombat Hill. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna go around this lady or girl or whoever it is, but I kind of ended up bumping their bike a bit, and I think I knocked it over. So
Sorry.
I felt bad and helped them at least get their bike around the obstacle that they're stuck on. So I'm not the karma, what goes around comes around, and at this point, I'm not really racing through this. I know it's just a shit show. So yeah, give this person a hand with their bike a little bit, and then get back on and get going. This hill here, I would say, is probably the most dangerous part of the entire course from my perspective. The right-hand line was like just a ski run, and you could be on your bike, you could be bulldogging your bike, you could be doing whatever. Once you put things in motion, you were going to go down to the bottom, and there was some pretty big lumber down there. So Kirk Sidor was in here and tried to clean this up a little bit before the racers came through, just to give an alternate line. Otherwise, honestly, there would have been broken bones here, like almost definitely. It was that bad. So I'm waiting for him to clear somebody off the track, and then I can drop down. But very sketchy.
Pretty gnarly.
It was crashed about 20 minutes ago.
I believe you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Must be getting better.
Right?
We're going to ride it in about 8 riders, maybe.
Oh, fuck.
Now this whole section was pretty tough. Lap 2, I think it was a little bit better. Maybe there weren't as many people in the way, but right now it was just get down and don't crash. If you grab your front brake, your front tire was going to be skidding off the trail. So just delicate, very precise movements. This is where seat time and skill come into play big time, because it's so easy to just mess up in here. And even with that, there's no guarantees.
Expert.
I'll let you buy.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Very nice.
Oh no, you okay?
You okay?
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right, we're past the other riders there and start to move at a better pace, I guess. This is still really greasy, but sometimes you just gotta let go of the brakes and say, yeah, see you at the bottom. That's what I tell myself anyways. Going down is always easy. You know you're gonna get to the bottom. It's just what kind of shape are you gonna be in? So, yeah. Don't make any sudden movements and hang on for dear life. Coming up to the B merge now, so this is where the B riders or rejoin the course, however you want to look at it. And I can hear bikes up ahead, and I see a lineup and think, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna be here for a while. So saw a bit of a line through the trees and thought I gotta get around these guys, otherwise I might end up here for a while. So cut through and then sneak in line and then try to make my way up some of this stuff. This is Ben Hart, I think, is in front of me here, so I'm gonna follow him around for a while, but there's lots of people that kind of get in our way, and took me a while to get past him. Again, I'm not really in this big panic usually when I'm racing. It's just I'm out there trying to have fun, so it's not the end of the world if somebody's holding me up. I mean, it does get frustrating if it's a prolonged thing, but yeah, it's not the end of the world for the most part. Most people are pretty good about getting out of the way, and yeah, this is just these are tough hills. I think there was quite a few sweepers on some of these. Just probably had to lift a lot of people up.
Expert.
this next hill I kind of got screwed. I was still on a hilly part when this came to a halt, and to get going again was just, couldn't get past these people. So there's Corey Ayrton. She's racing Women's Pro, and I'm not sure who the heck's in front of her, but she got around that person, and then they start going, and I'm still stuck behind them. So yeah, it takes me quite a while to catch back up to those two after this.
Expert!
So here's Corey, and this is funny. I mean, we kind of out of the trees, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get past her, but it is so slippery. I should have thought more about stopping after I passed her. So I hit the brakes, and there was just like, oh no, I'm not stopping. So into the trees. It kind of gave her a little hand wave. I was like, oh, this is, pretending like my hand was shaking. It was just like, holy shit, hang on for dear life here. It's funny, this easy stuff in the dry has now become hard because it's just so slippery. You can't just slam on the brakes and expect you're going to make a corner, and there's so many little trees that you can plink into. So you just have to be smart about it. But I was hoping to track down Ben here through this. Hill, I'm chasing Ben down, and there's this guy off to the right, but something as simple as being off that trail by 5 feet, you could be there for 3 minutes trying to get your bike back on the trail in these conditions. So I feel for that person. It's hard enough when you're on the trail, you get off and it's just so slippery. Get yourself into some predicament. Actually, I know another guy, Fisher here, he ended up off the trail. And, oh, there we go. Ben lets me by. Alright, time to check out. Anyways, Fisher came off the trail and they went down some embankment and couldn't get back up. And yeah, it sounded like it was probably a 30-minute plus extravaganza for them to try to get back on course. That guy doesn't really ride much in the mountains either, so I'm sure his eyes were probably popping out of his head. Just it's a different, this is a different animal than what we. This is still pretty tame, but it's different than the stuff we ride around home. So your eyes get open to just the variety of terrain and hills and everything else, the rocks and what have you. It's a little different than what we would normally ride, which is pretty sandy ground. But good for him for coming out and giving it a go. Hopefully he makes it out to some more races. It's a great way to become a better rider and meet new people. Established quad trail. Normally you could just really rip down here. Still moving at a decent pace, but all these little rocks can send you off into the tubies too, so I was trying to be somewhat conservative. But up ahead here, this is John Peck. I think he's from the Edmonton area, and yeah, he's racing 40B. I chat with him every once in a while. He's out here with his kids. Wait for an opportunity to get past him here. Photographer there and some other riders, but this is kind of the home stretch for the race, so hit the start finish and head out for another lap. Last year we did 4 laps. I think it was 85 kilometers. This year I only got in 2, so yeah, conditions definitely play a part in how far you're going to travel on a particular day. Being hung up at a few places on that pro expert split definitely cost some time, and wasn't able to make the 2-hour cutoff to get in a 3rd lap. A number of guys were able to do that, but I've got 2 here, so no need for gas this day. Just rip through and back out on the trails. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks to my sponsors, Lloyd Sad Navicord and First Track and Wiseman Contracting, to name a few, and everybody else that supports me, and some of the other dealerships like Works and Riverside. These guys are always hooking me up with parts, so yeah, try not to break too many things when I'm out racing, but it happens, and these guys generally get us back on the trails in quick fashion, so thanks for that. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one.